on Ctv3 News. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams clarifies that Benito Canela's murder is not related to narco violence in neighboring Tucamal. High-ranking officers visit numerous illegal crossings here in the north. And a cleanup campaign in Libertad, residents are asked to throw their garbage in its proper place. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, May 6, 2024.
As I look out on the audience, I see many of the artists whose works are represented in this first display. My respect to each of you for contributing to Belize's creative and intellectual inheritance. I also offer my admiration and respect to those artists represented in the museum who have passed on. Their work lives on as sources of inspiration and education. For the many hundreds of artists who are not in the first show, I say that it is not our intention to develop a culture of exclusion or gatekeeping. Just the opposite. We see this space as one of liberation.
Yo me llamo José Luis Vivas. Yo he sido miembro desde hace 35 años en la Unión de Crédito. Todos mis préstamos que he pedido siempre me lo han dado. Ha sido una ayuda muy grande para mí porque he visto la prosperidad. Entonces ha crecido bastante por medio de la Unión de Crédito que me ha ayudado bastante en la comunidad de los cañeros, porque especialmente lo he visto porque hay muchos cañeros ahí en la Unión de Crédito y es por siempre por la ayuda que nos han dado. Yo empecé con 25 toneladas de licencia de caña. Ahorita ya estoy casi, entre yo y mi esposa casi tenemos las 2,000. Desde que estaba el señor Don Canul, yo ya estaba trabajando con la Unión de Crédito y ese viejito me trató muy bien. Me trató muy bien, entonces yo se lo recomiendo a cualquiera para el futuro.
This new Halover Bridge, much like its predecessor, holds momentous importance as it symbolizes resilience, strength, ingenuity, and embodies the steadfast spirit of our Belizean people. Today is a day of celebration and thanks, a day to celebrate all the hard work that went into the planning, design, and construction of this bridge.
As we traverse this bridge, let us not forget the challenges that were overcome, the lessons that were learned, and the dreams that were realized. Let us not forget what was done by putting its construction in Belizean hands. In so doing, we were able to save $20 million, reducing the cost of construction from $50 million, which was proposed by the previous administration, to $30 million, and look at that remarkable structure we created.
evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Since the execution of Pachacan resident Benito Canela on Thursday night, Belizeans have remained on edge, fearing his death may have been connected somehow to the ongoing narco-violence in neighboring Chetumal, Quintana Roo. Despite the rhetoric which has pointed to that possibility, including from opposition leader Shine Baru, who went on national television on Friday to claim this recent murder as narco-related, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says residents can be assured that his murder had nothing to do with narcos and instead was a result of a personal vendetta from persons from within the same community.
The point I'd like to clarify is the issue with the murder in Pachacan. Again, the leader of the opposition alluded that it is as a result of the narcos and a whole pile of foolishness. I can say to the Belizean people that the young man murder has nothing to do with the narcos or the whole issue that we're addressing in the north. It has to do with him and the local people from the area. We have a suspect in mind that we're looking for at this time, and we're hoping that we'll be able to locate that individual and bring some closure. I also visited that area over the weekend. I spoke to the family of the deceased person and gave them the assurance in terms of what we will do.
While it wasn't related, the murder was related to, narcos and cartels, was it local drug related?
No, it's not drug related either, no.
Okay. So do you have a motive for why they attacked him?
We believe that it is over an issue involving monies and a court case.
As we reported last week, 28-year-old Benito Canela, a father of two and cane farmer, was shot on Thursday night as he socialized at a public park located directly in front of his home. His callous murder happened in front of family and friends who saw a single gunman walk up to him and unleashed a barrage of bullets at him. At this time, police are looking for one person in connection with this most recent murder. Over the weekend, the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, visited numerous illegal border crossings across the northern districts of Orange Walk and Corozal. This operation comes amidst the security concerns in Chetumal, Mexico, and the police's ongoing effort in the north following a high-level meeting on Wednesday to bolster the department's plan. The tour, according to Campo Williams, gave way to various concerns which he will be taking up to Cabinet to ensure that serious efforts are made to address shortfalls present in these areas.
The members of the security forces continue to do our operations within the northern districts with a view to be able to ensure that our Belizeans who live within the northern districts and in particular along the regular and irregular border crossing areas are safe. We have certainly stepped up our presence in the area. I did a tour of the area over the weekend. I made several observations, and I will be putting my observations into a document and submit to Cabinet with recommendations in terms of what additional efforts I think that we can put into the area to enhance the level of security for our people.
As security forces continue its efforts to keep the ongoing Mexican cartel violence at bay, Campo Williams says the department continues to work closely with its counterparts in Mexico on this matter.
We remain in constant communication with our Mexican counterparts, and again I must say, I must commend our Prime Minister and the Minister of Home Affairs and the Minister of Defense for the input that they have been putting into this operation and the support. I can say that whenever we approach the Prime Minister for equipments or resources to be able to carry out our mandate, the Prime Minister is always willing to assist. So again, to go back to what the leader of opposition had said that the government showed no effort in trying to deal with this issue. It's a total lie. Likewise, Minister Marin and Minister Musa have been with us on the front line. We met, we discussed the issues, and we planned in terms of how we're going to execute, and we're doing just that.
Police Commissioner Chester Williams today also scolded the leader of the opposition for comments he made on Friday, where he categorized Belize as a narco state. His comments, according to Campo Williams, were baseless and very irresponsible.
He had certainly made several baseless and irresponsible comments, even going as far as painting Belize as a narco state. I don't know where he get that from, or if he knows what is the definition of a narco state. And also speaking about the issue of the northern operations, that we should bring other stakeholders from the NGOs and so forth to the table. This is a very, very highly sensitive operation that we're conducting, and because of the nature of the operations, we cannot include NGOs or persons who are not a part of the security apparatus in the planning for several reasons. One may also has to do with the security of those people, because once people get to understand who are parties to a plan against them, then they become a target. And so we would not do that, and likewise to be able to ensure confidentiality in terms of how the operations are is going to be executed. Again, there has to be confidentiality, because the security of our troops on the ground is important, and so we cannot have persons who are not a part of the security apparatus being involved in such an operation. So again, like I said, he continued to make some very reckless comments.
Earlier this year, the Ministry of Transport announced a new seatbelt law which mandates anyone on board a motor vehicle to be wearing seatbelts on all major highways and even in the towns and villages. The new law came in an attempt to enforce traffic laws and prevent grave road traffic accidents across the country. While the effectiveness of the new measure is yet to be determined, there are allegations that the law is being used by some members of the police department to extort drivers. Looking closely at the new regulations, Compol Chester Williams says the department will advocate for a change in the existing laws to make the issue of persons not wearing seatbelts a ticketable offense.
We will be lobbying to government or parliament to see how we can get the seatbelt law a ticketed offense as opposed to a arrestable offense. To arrest a person for a seatbelt is extremely tedious. It's a lengthy process. So if we can make it a ticketable offense, it is more easier to both the offender and the police officers. When we have to remove officers from the street to come and charge someone for seatbelt, we left the street open because the police officers could be out there patrolling, preventing crime, and we have to be inside the station processing a person to charge them for seatbelt. So just as we have the traffic offenses that are ticketable, we will ask that the seatbelt offense be a ticketed one as well.
But will that... Coming up next, tons of garbage removed from the community of Libertad. A call is made to residents to throw the trash in its proper place. Stay tuned.
Mi nombre es Mercedes García, me dedico a artesanías de bayal. Yo tengo, creo que más de 20 años de ser miembro. Quería poner este negocio y le dije pues fui allá y le dije al gerente, por favor, necesito unas máquinas. ¿Y qué necesitas? Pues dime cuánto. No tenía casa, no tenía nada. Ahorita tengo casa, hasta carro tengo. Lo que me gusta ahí en Credit Junior que uno llega y puede ver bastante fila. pero rápido. Los que trabajan ahí, los trabajadores son rápidos. Y acá pues me ayudaron hasta para hacer esto. Estas paredes así me ayudaron a hacerlo porque me dieron el préstamo. Entonces, aunque yo no lo puedo hacer, pero pago para que me lo hagan y eso pues gracias a Credit Union.
One day, we decided to gather everyone who loves The Last of Us in one place. The naked and afraid fans, and well, everyone who loves realities. The ones who don't like spoilers, and the ones who do. And those who love Barbie and Peppa Pig. That place is called Max. Well, it's not an actual place. It's on your screens, and there's room for everyone. Max is here to bring you more of the stories that you love. Max, the one to watch.
Our legacy isn't how many commas we have in our bank account. It's who we're lucky enough to have in our lives and what we can leave them with.
Henry, remind me again why we can't put you in a gifted school.
Because it's better for my psychosocial development for me to interact with a peer group in a normal school environment.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Susan? I guess I could just set you up with direct deposit if that's easier.
I don't know. I'll have to ask Henry.
You have to ask your 11-year-old?
Did our financial statement come in the mail today?
Yeah, I forgot to give it to you.
I don't know how you do it, all by yourself.
Come on, I have Henry. Find me another male of the species who's more grown up than him.
I'd like to.
This story, it's about me, my brother, my mom, and the girl who lived next door.
Henry and Peter, they're lucky to have you.
And your father's lucky to have you too.
Stepfather.
You okay?
I'm good.
Mom, I have to tell you something, and it's very important. Christine is in trouble. When someone hurts someone else, we have to make it better. There's only one way to stop it. I'd hope to do it all myself, but that's not an option.
There has to be another way to help Christina. Why there's no way to help.
Mr. Sickelman is the police commissioner. I'm not going to subject him to public scrutiny without conclusive evidence.
Okay, let's do this.
Mom, everything you need is right here. I'll be with you the whole time.
I know what you've done. Henry documented all of it.
Who do you think they're gonna believe?
It can't be left undone. No matter what, don't panic.
I'm not panicking.
We have to make it better.
Come to this door and wait.
Do you want quick cash for your gold? Then take advantage of Monica's Pawn Shop's big loans on gold and our guaranteed low rate of only 10% on all pawn jewelry. But it doesn't stop there. We also pawn TVs, buy scrap gold, and pawn vehicles that you can still drive. Visit Monica's Pawn Shop today in our Belize City location at number 128 Cemetery Road, our Belmopan location at number 5 Garden Plaza, our Orange Walk location, number 2 Belize Carazal Road. Give us a call at 207-0970 and get more money for your gold jewelry.
The murder rate in Belize for the first quarter of the year has seen a rise of 7 murders as compared to the same period last year. Despite a rise in murders, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says the overall crime rate in our country has seen a major reduction since the start of the year. The past few months have also seen a rise in the number of arrests in relation to murders, according to Campo Williams.
Right now, in terms of our overall national crime outlook, we are down in major crime overall, but where murders are concerned, we're up by 7 compared to last year. We continue to do our best to be able to address the the murders. One murder is one too much, but we do understand that we cannot stop all from happening, but we certainly will continue to do what we can to stop as much as we can. And again, we continue to appeal to the Belizean people to assist us in whatever way possible to be able to prevent and solve murders when they do occur. I have to commend the police for the good work done over the past week. We made 3 arrests for murders. One for the murder of Bobo in Belize City. One for a murder that took place in the St. Martin's area. And then one for a murder in Belmapan. And this week, we should be making an arrest for the murder of Dala Coin in Dangriga. So the investigators remain extremely busy, trying to do what they can to solve these cases. Again, once we solve these murders, we get the alleged murderer off the street. That also serves as a way of prevention, because that person will be incarcerated and will not be able to commit another murder unless he is released from prison.
On Sunday, Taya Garcia Ramirez, who is no stranger to Corozaleños, hosted an event with the hope of garnering some much-needed funds to continue assisting in several projects across Corozal town. The event included a day of sports, music, and food. Now, for a while now, we have been receiving reports that Garcia Ramirez, who comes from a political background, is planning to contest the Corozal Bay seat in a convention. When we caught up with her on Sunday, we asked her if the reports are true, and that is when she revealed that she is ready to represent the people of the Bay in a broader aspect.
I think ultimately it is the people of Corozal Bay who decide. I have previously gone up in a convention. I'm not afraid to go to a convention. Because I will bow down to the wishes of the voters, the electorate. I will always go to them for the last decision. And so this time they have a choice to make. I am putting myself forward, and at the end of the day, when convention day comes, well, they will be able to make a decision and decide who it is that they want to represent them at the next general elections. And so I'm going to take the opportunity to ask the Corozal Bay voters to consider me, to consider the work that I've done.
If there is a convention in the Bay, Ramirez will challenge the present Corozal Bay Area Representative Elvi Vega Samos. Known for being an activist for girls' and women's rights, we had to ask Ramirez why she decided to go against Vega.
Well, you know, I made a commitment to ensure that we got that civic center painted, and there's a few other little things that, you know, as you go working, you see the need for. So all the funds garnered here will go straight to that. It will help me to finalize my commitment toward that. And so it's Corozal doing for Corozal, you know, Corozaleños para Corozal. Is really, we can do it. Once we get together, we band together, there's the possibilities are limitless to what we can achieve when we come together. I am a huge believer in the power of community. I believe strongly that my community working together, harnessing that power, that belief, all those values and history and culture that as Corozaleños we have, there's nothing we can't do.
Coming to a decision to run for Corozal Bay was not an easy one, says Ramirez.
I believe that people have a right to decide. It's being democratic. It ensures that we have the right people representing us, and it's choices, and having more choices is never a bad thing. Having more rights, just like having more rights, is never a bad thing. You know, you want to have as many choices. in business and in politics, a little competition is a good thing, and the winners are in business are the consumers, and in politics it's the electorate. You know, so a little bit of competition never hurt anybody. If you can prove yourself in a convention, then the election should be a breeze. And so I am not. I'm confident. I am confident in the work that I've done. I think, and as you can see, I deliver on my commitments. I stand ready to deliver again and again for Corozal Bay.
Ramirez had recently donated $10,000 for the rehabilitation of the Corozal Civic Center, and she already has plans for Sunday's proceeds.
This is not a decision that I came by easily. I was first approached by a group of people and friends about this a year and a half ago. At that point in time, I was really focused on my work in my group called Plan Corozal, that is a non-governmental organization, tackling issues such as littering and garbage, and just trying to you know, do our part as residents of Corozal to do better. You know, donors and sponsors have been very kind to us because they realize and they know that every dollar that we manage to fundraise and we've managed to garner goes right back into these projects. This decision really stemmed from that. How can we do more for Corozal? How can we do better for Corozal?
The People's United Party is yet to announce a convention date for Corozal Bay. When we hear about civic pride, one of the things that comes to mind is to throw the garbage in its proper place. However, many a times that message seems to fall on deaf ears. This leads to a vast amount of garbage and debris ending up on the roadside, rivers, and other areas, thus leading to pollution. Becoming an eyesore to environmentalists and other members of the community, cleanup campaigns are usually organized to get rid of the garbage. And that is exactly what took place over the weekend in the village of Libertad, where the garbage situation has become unbearable. With gloves on, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, in collaboration with the Libertad Adventist Youth Group, joined efforts to remove as much trash from the community on Sunday. The day began at 6 a.m. and culminated at 1 p.m. Community health worker Avelini Reina told us more about the activity.
Well, today is the actual doing of what we had previously met at the different community meeting. It's a cleanup campaign to help address health issues, mainly dengue and malaria. And the cleanup campaign was basically to get your garbage out on the roadside, and everything that's a container, a tire, something that holds water, to avoid all breeding sites out of our household, to avoid mosquito being born, and avoid dengue or malaria.
And then now, why is it that you partnered with the Adventist Youth Club?
Well, actually, we had scheduled two meetings, and on our last meeting, we only had the Adventist church joining the meeting, and they held a great responsibility in compromising to be part of the cleanup campaign.
How much of the village are you planning to go through today?
Well, as much as we can cover, because as the time goes by, it's a very sunny day. So the most, if we can cover the whole community, it would be perfect.
Apart from introducing harmful materials into the environment, not getting rid of garbage properly can lead to health issues.
To add to it, at the community meeting, we explain what's dengue. We explain how to help avoid the spreading of dengue, well, the born of the simple dengue. But then, if we are not having the response of the community itself, it's like we are lacking something. we need to get informed, the proper information. If you don't understand English, pregúntale en español. Si no en español, we have a Creole. And there's many ways you can get informed through a video, through a meeting, health education. Simply, any of us in our family surely have had dengue, and that's something that we need to think about.
While the village of Libertad has a dump site, it is not being utilized. But according to Braina, it's high time residents start practicing love for country.
The dump site is there, but then, I don't know how if people got the access or the time to bring it. Sometimes it's large amount of garbage they have, and most likely with household that have babies, what keeps back is a lot of pampers. It takes more time to decompose or even to get burned.
Now I want you to explain to us a little bit about how is it then that the village of Libertad deals with garbage and collecting garbage, disposing of garbage.
Well, to my knowledge, what I have known, cleanup campaign, the water board chairman had initially started the picking up of garbage, but then people tend to, for them to go in, that they go inside your yard and get the garbage, and that's not it. A cleanup campaign means you yourself will be part of it. You will get your garbage out on the roadside, and we will just pass, pick it up, and take it to the dump site.
Since last year, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology has been working on the development of Belize's first ever National Science, Technology and Innovation Strategy 2024-2034. Since then, stakeholders from the private, government and academic sectors have come together to form a Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Committee to help bring the process to fruition. Today, the first ever Science, Technology and Innovation Stakeholder Consultation session was hosted in Belmopan City. The primary focus of this meeting was to engage with key academic, private, public, and industry stakeholders towards the development of Belize's first ever Science, Technology, and Innovation Strategy, aiming to guide the growth and development of Belize and its people over the next decade. Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Louisa Bani, expanded on the significance of this endeavor.
Right, so we're looking at a 10-year period, 2024 to 2033, end of 33, thereabout. And the way how these strategies usually work is that they're revised every 10 years. Of course, as we know, in particular with science, technology, and innovation, things evolve rather quickly. And this is our first, so we want to lay the foundation. What are the things we need to do in various sectors? What's government's role? What's the private sector's role? What's the NGO community's role? What's academia's role? Preparing a very clear vision of where we want to be, say in the next 30 years or so, and what we need to get there. Following the strategy and hopefully the approval by cabinet, then we start to talk about more detailed action plans. What do we need to actually do in details over the next 10 years to set this foundation in place? But in essence, it is to prepare our country to be a participant in the fourth industrial revolution, rather than to be a taker, to be a participant, to be determining as well our destiny, by having the capacity, the capability by our own people to be able to produce in the areas of science, in particular applied science, to be able to undertake research and development that is relevant to Belize and the region, and of course to be able to innovate within our economy, within our society, taking what is there and using it to improve the welfare of our people.
As the world has entered the fourth industrial revolution characterized by robotics, big data, artificial intelligence, and automation, This strategy aims to prepare and move Belize into this new era with the goal of attaining sustainable human development, according to Minister Zabani.
Indeed, indeed. So we have two tracks. We can be consumers, and we will benefit to a certain extent by all the technology that's being produced by other countries. We can innovate and improve to a certain extent the technology in our businesses across the country. That will have some value that will be added. However, in that setting, the way the world goes will be determined by other places. We are audacious enough to say, just like how our friends in Taiwan, our friends in Singapore, our friends in South Korea made that decision 40, 50 years ago to prepare themselves to be able to produce. We believe we have enough evidence of brilliant Belizeans all over the world here in Belize, and we want to be in the driving seat. That means we have to do a lot more in terms of preparing our tertiary sector, the academic sector, to be able to do more. We have to work very closely with the private sector so that they undertake their responsibility, and government's role as well. There is a 30-70 formula. When you look at the history of the countries I just mentioned, initially the public sector, the government sector, contributed about 70% into research and development expenditures, and the private sector 30%. Over time, that flips over. Government is doing 30%, and the private sector, NGO community, they're doing 70%. And so that occurs over time. We can learn, we can leapfrog, because there are good examples out there. We can learn from what they had to do, and then we look at our realities here and put those things in place so that the next generation can be actively participating, and that's the dream that we have.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
My name is Stacey Badillo. This is my sister Gina Badillo, and we've been owners of this business for the past 19 years. It is called Purple Passion Studio and Spa, and we're located in Keycocker, Belize. I've been part of the credit union for 12 years, and Gina
for 19 years.
Professionally, it's allowed us for our business to grow, and our careers has grown as well.
We have had great customer service at Credit Union.
They're exceptional.
Yes.
For this small island, it's very important, but for our small business, it's even more important. It has changed our lives, the lives of our children, of our families.
I highly recommend St. Francis Credit Union to my children, to my family, to my clients, to everyone that is around me, that it's always the number one.
One day, we decided to gather everyone who loves The Last of Us in one place. The naked and afraid fans, and well, everyone who loves realities. The ones who don't like spoilers, and the ones who do. And those who love Barbie and Peppa Pig. That place is called Max. Well, it's not an actual place. It's on your screens, and there's room for everyone. Max is here to bring you more of the stories that you love. Max, the one to watch.
It's another Mr. Fall promotion at Guinea Grass Village Council presents Buffalo. It's all happening on Saturday, May 18th at the New River Park, Guinea Grass Village. Everybody come, let's Buffalo. Live performance by the General himself, Super G. The General performing live. May 18th, New River Park, Guinea Grass Village. Music juggling by DJ Dickus and DJ Virgo. Get your ticket, pre-sale. Tickets $20 and hear more at the door. And without the net, you better come Guinea Grass Village because you can't afford to miss this big Punta Rock competition and lots of giveaways. Mr. Fall Promotion and Guinea Grass Village Council, Buffalo. Sponsored by Express Plus Streaming Entertainment, Rum of Belize Trademark, Mr. Fall Promotion and Rum Berry.
part of the bilateral cooperation agreement between the government of Belize and the government of Peru, the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, MAFSE, is currently hosting a technical capacity building presentation on the project entitled Strengthening Potato and Vegetable Value Chain in Belize from May 6 to May 10, 2024. This event signifies a significant milestone in the collaboration between Belize and Peru, with the shared goal of enhancing agricultural practices and fostering economic development in the region. The presentations aim to facilitate high-level exchanges and explore agricultural opportunities between the two countries. The technical capacity building presentations will feature sessions conducted by representatives from the Peruvian government, focusing on key aspects of potato cultivation and the potato value chain. Participants will gain valuable insights into planning, methodologies, case studies, and strategies for identifying and addressing challenges within the potato and vegetable value chain. The Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise expresses gratitude for the steadfast support and commitment from both the government of Belize and the government of Peru in strengthening the bilateral technical cooperation agreement. This initiative reflects the shared vision of promoting agricultural development and ensuring food security for the people of Belize. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, May 7th here on Ctv3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.